This part of the brain more than doubled in size. The brain is rapidly building new. They're controlling their head, they're recognizing every time you talk to them, every time you respond to them. Researchers have concluded that the newborn period is one of the most rapid phases of brain growth across a person's entire lifespan. So what actually happens inside the newborn brain in the first few days, weeks, months of life? Hi, I'm Yash, a psychology teacher and a mum, and I'm really interested in academic research and trying to translate this for students and parents and also for myself. I've got 2 little ones, and learning about their brain, their growth and their development is really important to me. So if that's something you're interested in, then please do stick around. So the first bit of research that I was really interested in was by Holland et al. In 2014. They conducted a study over a really long period of time in healthy infants using MRI brain scans. So they used this technique and they found that the human brain grows rapidly. It grows so much immediately after birth. Brain volume increased by 64% in just the first 90 days of life. What's more is that the cerebellum part of the brain that we find at the back of the brain that is associated with movement and coordination. This part of the brain more than doubled in size in just the first 90 days. This is the fastest growing brain region that there is for human infants. The newborn brain is prioritizing this. So what does this mean? This means that they're learning to control their bodies. They're gaining head control, their movement becomes less reflexive and more coordinated. However, the part of the brain that is growing the least rapidly, so the slowest, which was only about 47% in the first 90 days, is the hippocampus, which is in like this region. And so that part of the brain is associated with memory function, and that means that autobiographical memory isn't a major developmental priority for newborns. So babies are really just first built to survive, to feed, to move, and that's their priority. So secondly, researchers Nattu et al. In 2021 also used MRI techniques to study infants from birth to around 6 months old. The researchers found evidence of profound microstructural changes occurring throughout the brain. They suggested that 2 important biological processes are helping to drive this growth. The first one is called synaptogenesis. This is the formation of lots of neural connections between the brain cells. So imagine the brain as a vast network of roads. In the first few months of life, the brain is rapidly building new routes across different regions. These connections allow information to travel across the brain and form the foundation of future learning, and also movement and perception. The second process is myelination. Myelination is when nerve fibers become wrapped in this fatty insulating layer. So these nerves in the brain have this fatty layer called myelin, and the brain is prioritizing myelination because it allows messages to travel a lot faster and efficiently through the nervous system. So in other words, your baby's brain isn't just getting bigger, it's actually getting increasingly connected and increasingly efficient, and it's laying the foundations for their future learning. This process explains why babies become a lot better within the first few weeks at tracking faces, perhaps months even, but definitely quite shortly after birth, they're able to track faces really well. They're coordinating movements a lot better, they're controlling their head, they're recognizing voices, they're responding to the world around them as they're learning and new synaptic connections are forming. And so for parents, that means lots of tummy time, as we know, is really useful to help perpetuate that cerebellum growth. But also they're recognizing voices, they're constantly talking and having a good connection with your baby. It sometimes feels like they're not really responding to you, but there's a lot going on in their brain, and every time you talk to them, every time you respond to them, they're learning to feel safe, they're recognizing you even more, and they're realizing that there's a lot of people here that really love them and care for them. And that is completely invaluable and so important. So the first few months of life are therefore not just a period of growth, but a period of rapid brain construction. billions of neural connections are organising the foundations for future learning and development, and your work and everything you do for your newborns every step of the way, every sleepless night, is helping their brain develop more and more, and it's laying the foundations for their entire lifespan. So it really is extraordinary what we're doing as parents. And yeah, if you found this video useful, then please do give it a like. Do share it with new parents who are interested in the way that their newborns' brains are changing and growing and developing. And yeah, please do stick around for more videos exploring psychology, neuroscience, and the science of learning. Thanks for watching. Bye.